On this adventuresome installment of View the Right Thing, Wes and Steve whip up the excitement of one of the most iconic and enduring film franchises of all time. When two of Hollywood's most creative minds come together, their own cinematic experiences from childhood contoured the shape of a gruff hero who influenced another generation of filmmakers that came after them. The collaboration of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg digs up and reinvents the adventure genre in Raiders of the Lost Ark. In this episode of View the Right Thing.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of View the Right Thing.
You thought I was going to say it, didn't you?
I was waiting to see if you were going to jump in.
You were like, surely today would be the day that Steve would try to bring back the sabotageous Indiana Jaws pun. Mm-hmm. But I didn't try to convince everybody that our show was called Indiana Jaws.
You're so dastardly.
Yet. I'm a bit dastardly, it's true.
So how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple weeks. I had a really good week last week. Uh-huh. I was on 3 different 2 film projects, 1 podcast project. Very excited for it. And then today we watched a great movie that who doesn't love? You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Who doesn't love this movie? Should I sing the theme song?
We don't have a theme song. That's your show.
No, but I mean for the movie that we just watched.
Oh, if you want to, you can save it for when we get closer. I got questions for you, man.
Oh, cool.
Sorry about that. There's also some noise maybe in the background too. Laundry's going on. So
hey, if you're listening to this and you hear the noise, don't sweat it. It's the holidays, baby.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I just mixing it up so that way it was different. So own it a little bit more.
I bet we won't even be able to hear the laundry back there.
Maybe not. We'll find out.
I can barely hear it right now. Ask me questions or tell me things.
All right. Well, so here's the question.
Yeah.
As per usual with these longer episodes, Steve.
Yes.
Have you seen any movies in the theater recently that you wanted to highlight or talk about?
Yes. The most recent thing I saw was Bohemian Rhapsody. Mm-hmm. That was a very fun movie.
Yeah.
I'm no expert on the history of Queen, but I've been hearing a lot of people complain that there's a lot of moments placed in the wrong time sequence. And hey, that's okay. These things happen.
I mean, there's stuff completely manufactured. The climax of the film the conflict of the film is manufactured.
Whoa, yeah?
Not real. Yeah, the fallout with the band did not happen in real life.
Not at all.
Nope.
Not even the Munich party house? Where all those terrible songs were being written?
I don't know if that stuff didn't happen, but the fight with the band didn't happen.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, they actually all agreed to take a break, and they continued to work on music while they were taking a break.
Ah, all right.
So that did not happen.
Well, there you have it then. But would that have made an entertaining movie?
Maybe.
Possibly. They would have had to think of something else, I guess.
I've spoken of my criticism for the movie.
Yeah.
At the same time, I loved it. I thought Rami Malek was great.
Did a great job.
I love Queen music, and I thought there were some sequences that were outstanding, like the final 20 minutes of the movie.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
That was so great. I liked that it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That was cool. I liked that I almost got into a fight at the screening.
Oh boy, you liked that?
Yeah. No, I didn't like it. It was very silly. Some knuckleheads in front of us didn't like the fact that when they stood up at the end of the movie and there were still images on the screen that we said, hey, could you guys maybe just move aside? So then they just started walking out. I guess could you just move aside equals can you walk out altogether? And then as they walked out and were real far away, one of them got me with a green Sour Patch Kid. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat this Sour Patch Kid. You gave me a dessert is what happened to you, pal. Was that your foot?
No. I mean, I think my foot was down.
Ooh.
Somebody's shoe is down there.
I kicked a little something. But that's not part of the movie. That's part of the movie-going experience.
Yeah.
So that guy will wound up getting shot if he pulls that on anybody else in that part of town, let me tell you.
Sure. I think maybe one day I'm gonna make good on my.
You're gonna shoot that guy?
No, I'm gonna make good on a different threat.
A different threat.
Which is I'm gonna do a how to attend the cinema 101 episode, because there are a lot of rules, a lot of people break, and they're not written rules, but they are part of the social contract. And I think we got a lot of new viewsters over the last month or so.
Yeah.
So maybe it's gonna be time for that.
Here's the thing, though: the people that already break those rules and that will grow up to break those rules, they're never gonna care. They're never gonna care.
I choose to believe that there are some people who are raised believing it's okay to do certain things, like talk in a theater or whatever, and that when they realize,
a lot of people.
But I do believe that when they realize why, it's important not to do certain things that they probably don't think about because they don't think about other people. Maybe
they're inconsiderate.
But once they know about these things, they might.
We need a real rain to wash this world clean.
Change their ways.
Travis Bickle style. I like what you're saying, and
I'm hopeful for movie lovers.
I believe in taking the chance on making it right.
Yeah.
But I also know people.
You're cautiously pessimistic.
I don't even know if I'd call it pessimistic, just kind of realistic. The bottom line is the world's full of crumb bums who are just I'll do whatever I want in a movie theater. It's my living room.
Yeah, Beautiful Boy was a
Beautiful Boy?
Yeah, we had a situation where I had asked somebody to turn their phone. They kept getting on their phone and just reading through text messages, scrolling through text messages.
You gotta be kidding me.
And I asked them if they could turn off their phone. They did for a while, and they turned it back on again. And
what a jackdill.
She turned around and she was like, What if it's a family emergency? And I was like,
go outside.
I said, there's a hallway right there. And Desi said it too. And she goes, go fuck yourself.
Wow.
And I will admit that I responded in kind.
Wow, I don't blame you for 1 second, dude. If it gets to that point, what if it's a family emergency? Oh, by all means, stay and keep watching the movie while the family emergency that you know about is happening.
So I got up to not keep confrontation going. I got up to just let somebody at the theater know, which is really the right thing to do. And I noticed she was looking at pictures of flowers. And I said,
well, isn't that cute?
I said to her, it's good to know your family emergency involves these flowers. And she got real low in her chair.
Oh, dingbats out there, man.
But the reality is, it could have been maybe she was seeing a movie because they had a family member die and they're working on funeral. I don't want to take away from somebody's potential, maybe pain that they're feeling, but there are proper ways to do that.
Yeah.
Going out into the hallway is an okay way to. But the reality is, she wanted to spend a lot of time in her text messages, not quickly respond to something.
Right.
Because I let it go for a long time, and she kept doing it, and I still let it go after I had asked her. But I don't know. Anyways,
she was a liar. If you really need to be on your phone a lot during a movie, sit in the very back row, and then if nobody's around, then go ahead.
No.
Well, look, movie theaters
hard disagree.
Movie theaters need money, and jerks who like to be on their phone in the movie theaters, at least they're going to movie theaters, so they've got that going for them.
You think those jerks on the phones are the ones that are buying the concessions? Or they're the ones that are sneaking stuff in because they don't follow rules to
Probably a little of both.
That's where the movie theaters are making their money. It's on the concessions, not the ticket sales.
Yeah.
I've broken down ticket sales, I think, on the podcast before, so.
I believe you have. I actually wrote one of my college term papers on the facts that that movie theaters are making too much money on all the prices that they're charging. And that was in the year 2000.
I don't think they are, though. I mean, it's one of the most...
In the year 2000, they were.
One of the most volatile industries. So in 2001, for example...
Yeah.
2001? No, wait. When did Episode 1 come out?
Episode 1 was 99.
99. So in 99,
yeah,
prior to your term paper, when Fox released Episode 1, they didn't give any of the first weekend's receipts to theaters.
Wow.
Theaters got 0%. 100% of the box office went to Fox.
Diabolical.
And that's when you want that, is when it's Star Wars, you do.
Yeah.
You want that opening weekend. So If they didn't agree to 100% to Fox, then they didn't get and I think the next weekend was only like 10%.
Whoa.
It was a real gradual thing. So
I remember seeing episode 1 in the theater probably 5 times, and you know what? I bet I got at least a large cherry Coke each time.
well, that's good.
And probably some sort of sugary treat.
Probably then that was only like $3.50.
Yeah, back there in the last year of the 20th century, you could get, a ticket and a snack or two for maybe around 10-ish bucks altogether.
Yeah.
Madness. Last time I was at an AMC, I got a large popcorn, large soda. It was $15.
But they charged you for a medium on both those things, I bet. You're a Stubbs member, right?
No.
Or Premiere?
I try not to go to AMC.
Oh, yeah.
very
That's
often.
free upgrades on your
Yeah.
popcorn and beverage. They also started doing a new thing where your birthday month,
What?
you get a large drink and a large popcorn for free.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
Thank
Fun.
you, Stubbs.
I'm telling you, man. You gotta come over from MoviePass over to the AMC.
I
and-
live near 3 theaters
Ugh.
that are way cheaper, way closer to home, way better parking
But you're on
situations.
MoviePass, so the cheaper thing shouldn't necessarily factor in.
But I just like those theaters better
Yeah.
anyway. I don't have to select.
I went to one of your theaters one time, and that was a bad experience, Steve.
You went to the $3 theater,
You
which is terrible.
okay.
But you got to know when to do the $3 theater.
That was a bad theater, man.
It is a bad theater,
That was a bad experience.
but it's only $3.
Movie was all right.
What did we watch? Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, that movie was so bloody and gross.
I also saw Avengers: Age of Ultron for like the second or third time at that theater.
Oh, really?
Chris hadn't seen it. It was the only place doing it still. And I saw one Insidious.
Ooh.
And that was just full of people talking on the phone.
Yeah, I saw Hereditary there, and everybody in there, it was all like youngsters trying to act rowdy, but they were so scared during Hereditary. Like, you could hear a pin drop during that movie.
That's awesome.
It was great.
Okay, so anything besides Bohemian Rhapsody? Just get us back
I
on track
definitely
here.
saw something else recently. Oh, I saw Overlord. I liked Overlord quite a bit.
Yeah, me too.
I liked that Wyatt Russell's character got to kick a lot of butt.
Yeah.
And then...
Disappointed Raleigh Ritchie. Spoiler alert.
Raleigh Ritchie.
Raleigh Ritchie dies real quick. Jacob
Oh,
Anderson.
yeah, that's true. Grey Worm, right?
Grey Worm.
Yeah, that was sad. I was hoping for more of him. 2 Game of Thronesers in that movie, at least. I mean, there might have been even more. The main bad guy was one of the Greyjoy guys.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
I don't think I realized that.
he was about 900 times cleaner in this movie
sure.
than as what's his name Greyjoy. He's like the filthiest character ever.
Interesting.
But yeah, Overlord was a blast. I was in, I think, the 3rd row from the front when I saw that.
Wow, that's close.
No, I was in the front row.
Oh, that's gross. I don't like that.
It was gross, but it was just like me and our buddy Joey were kicking it. And, it was like, whoa, dude, Overlord starts in 10 minutes. Let's go. And we just went, and it was a huge mistake. But even from the front row, it was still a pretty enjoyable movie.
Our Overlord episode had technical issues, so
yeah?
I would not besmirch anyone for having not listened to it.
Sure.
So I'll just say one of the things I loved about Overlord on this episode. I thought it was one of the best pairings of 2 different genres I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah?
Because it definitely worked really, really well as a horror film, but you could have removed those horror elements, and it would have worked 100% as a World War II film.
Still a good war movie, for sure.
So I really dug that about the film.
Cool. I hadn't even thought about that. But, yeah, I dug the film. I'm glad that it turned out as good as it did. I'm glad that Wyatt Russell is himself, but you do get just a tiny glimmer of Kurt every once in a while. And I was like, oh, yeah. That's why. That was cool. I don't think anybody did a bad job. Was anybody, horrible in it?
I didn't think anyone was bad in it. I thought it was a fun, well-made movie.
Yeah. And then that running out scene at the end, that was awesome. I won't explain much about it at all, but
yeah,
when that scene concluded, I was just like, that was like maybe the best 25 seconds I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Good stuff.
I haven't been to any midnight movies lately. Do you go to midnights ever?
Not anymore. I find I don't enjoy the movies as much.
Yeah.
When I see them at midnight. Oh, hi. That's your foot.
That was my foot.
I like the idea of midnight screenings, but it's if I get sleepy or something,
yeah,
it's got to be. I got to really be prepped for it.
No, all right. All right.
I think the last midnight screening I went to was at a festival, and it might have been Big Bad Wolves.
Wow,
So
that was quite a few years
2012
ago.
Maybe or something.
Wow, has it been that long?
Maybe
for
not
Big
quite
Bad
that. I
Wolves
think so.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yeah, probably either that or one of the ABCs of Death I did at a festival.
Oh.
It was late, and I actually started it as off during that. I don't like any of those ABCs of Death films, but
they're something.
I guess
they're
it's a word for it. I guess
they're yeah. How best to describe those?
Yeah.
They're just kind of like, all right.
So I don't think I mean I've been doing so many episodes. We're doing those now playing episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to go. Oh yeah, I saw this recently because the viewers already know. Because I've been. Oh well, we didn't do a Boy Erased episode. We chose specifically not to do one.
Oh,
We were just oversaturating our episodes, so
Yeah.
we're trying to get on track to where we're doing 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
So there'll either be one of like an episode like this with you or Joey or maybe Alexis,
Yeah.
and then one now playing episode,
All right.
and then on our off weeks when I don't have a episode with you or Joey or Alexis,
Yeah.
it'll be just 2 now playing episodes. So
All right.
soon we'll have more things coming, but been doing the 365 challenge. Almost
Yeah.
done with that.
I saw you posted the other day. You're in the 20s, right? You have like
I am
20-some
20. I'm as of this recording. So we're recording this a little bit early because we've got things coming up in December.
yeah.
So this is not coming out till December, but we're recording this actually just before Thanksgiving.
December things.
I've got 20 after watching Raiders today. I'm at 24 movies left.
Whoa.
My goal is to get to December with only 15 films, so I could just take a real leisure December
Yeah.
and have some days where I don't watch.
Yeah, I mean that would be one movie every 2 days.
Yeah,
That's easy peasy right there.
yeah.
I probably watch one movie every 2 days.
At one point, I think I was in September. I had this crazy idea to try and be 30 ahead, so I wouldn't have to do any in December.
Whoa.
But it was ambitious because it's to get that far ahead is it's
Yeah.
not easy.
Now,
Yeah.
do you get to count every time that you watch Netflix's The Christmas Chronicles as one tick off the
No,
list?
I could count it as one, but I don't.
But
get
you're
to
going to
count-
watch it 10 times because you're an American.
I mean, probably because it's Kurt Russell and you.
Yeah.
Probably make me. It'll be like Clockwork Orange over here. Steve will have my eyes pried
Pin your
open.
eyes open. Keep applying saline drops.
Sure that counts.
Good old Christmas Chronicles. I can't wait.
There's a lot of things coming out. A lot of things coming out that I really want to see. So,
I guess by the time they're hearing this, Christmas Chronicles will be available. Everybody will already know it's 5 stars.
sure.
That's what's gonna happen.
What, okay, I'm gonna ask you this. So we're a ways away, and we haven't seen all of the great films this year.
That's true.
What is, in your opinion, not your favorite film of the year, but what do you think is the best film you've seen this year?
Man, that's a tough call.
There's a bunch of things that haven't come out because it's still before Thanksgiving. So
Right.
viewsters don't like hold us to this. Like, oh, how come they wouldn't think such and such film was?
Right. It's a tough call. I mean, Mandy's definitely high on the list.
You think that's the best, not favorite?
That's here's the problem with Mandy is that it haunts me. I've only watched it twice. I saw it once in the theater. I bought the Blu-ray immediately, but I've only watched it twice. But I'm constantly thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's such a trip. And so to try to think of anything that has plagued or delighted me as much as Mandy has is almost impossible. Like, I'm trying to look back through the year, and and pick out all the movies and pick out which one might actually be the best.
Yeah.
And I'm having a really hard time doing that because Mandy's in there.
I have one film that's been kind of like that for me
Oh, yeah?
this year, but I don't think it's the best film I've seen this year.
Okay.
Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, yeah.
I think about that movie like twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week.
Sorry to Bother You
easily.
is a pretty cool movie. Cool movie.
But I don't think it was the best I've seen.
One of the best movies I saw this year was actually a 2017er that nobody's talking about. I might have brought it up before. It's called Sandcastles. It's on Netflix. And it's a movie about a bunch of soldiers over in Iraq trying to rebuild a water sanitation plant that's been bombed out. And, you know, it's just this handful of soldiers who've been assigned to go into this town and help the people of that town rebuild this water thing. And they just keep getting obstacle after attack after attacking obstacle after obstacular attack.
So
And
but that was last year.
It is last year, but I only just saw it because nobody ever talked about it last year.
This year. What about this year?
This year, 2018 releases. What is the best? I don't know, man. It's a tough call.
Right
tough
now,
call.
I'm caught up between 2 films.
Which two?
The Hate You Give.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see that?
Not yet.
You should see it.
I hear it's very upsetting.
It's great.
Great.
It will make you angry
I'm already angry.
in a good way, but also make you feel hopeful.
All right.
But the other one is A Private War with Rosamund Pike.
Oh, she's got the eye patch in that one.
Which I did an episode, the 50th episode of View the Right Thing. I'm sad that
Yeah.
you weren't part of that. Was with Chris. Chris finally did an episode with us.
Whoa.
With me.
It was for Private War,
and It was
eh?
a Private War. It was a movie we both like. So
Is that in theaters or on streamers?
it's in theaters.
I'll have to look for it.
I would maybe put that as my probably over Hate You Give. Hate You Give was
Really?
really good though.
Wow.
But we still have a bunch of movies coming out that we haven't seen. Roma hasn't come out yet. That's the one everyone's talking about is Roma. Green Book hasn't come out yet.
Green Book. Border is supposed to be really awesome. Buster Scruggs just hit.
Yeah, Buster Scruggs is good.
I haven't watched that yet. Maybe I'll watch that before bed tonight.
There's one that hasn't been in the talks, but I have high hopes for.
Yeah.
Welcome to Marwen.
Oh yeah.
But nobody is putting that on any lists of potential
Wow.
Oscar films.
When does that open? Christmas Day?
December 14th.
December 14th. That's gonna be here. Lickety split.
Yeah. Yep. I hear you.
Marwen.
Yeah. And on the Basis of Sex is coming out. That may be a contender.
I haven't even heard about that one.
That's the Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie with Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer.
Wow, alright.
And
RBG movie.
directed by one of my least favorite directors.
Uh-oh, who?
Mimi Leader.
Don't know her.
Deep Impact's Mimi Leader.
She directed Deep Impact?
Yeah, she did a lot of TV.
Alright.
And even the TV stuff I'm not that blown away by. But, you know, whatever. Wildlife, I think, is probably going to be considered.
Wildlife. I gotta see that. I feel like I watch tons and tons of movies all the time, but I also am way behind.
Did you see Stars Born?
No, I haven't even seen A Star Is Born
That'll
yet.
be a contender. That'll be a contender.
Oh
Definitely
my
for
gosh.
songs.
Who am I?
I don't know. There's some great music out this year, too. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
There's a whole flurry of music that's being kind of considered.
A flurry, you say?
Yeah, I mean, Boy Erased has one. Beautiful Boy has one. Private War has Annie Lennox doing a song specifically for Private War.
Really?
Yeah, Requiem for a Private War, it's called.
Requiem for a Private War. It rhymes.
Yeah. The Buster Scruggs movie has a great song.
Is it the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
It is not. I think it's called When a Cowboy Gets Its Wings.
Oh.
Something that... When a cowboy trades his spurs for a set of wings, I think is what it is. Something to that effect.
Kind of a long title.
It's a good song, though. It's fun. What else? There's a couple others that
That's
have...
an 11-word title.
If I had to guess right now, I think Boy Erased is probably the edge for song.
Yeah. Now, did the boy erased meet the girl interrupted? Is that how he got erased? Was she like, pardon me, let me just erase this boy. Where were we? I was interrupted. That's my Angelina Jolie
It was
impersonation.
good. I thought she was in the room with me.
Thank you.
All right, we should move on, and we've meandered for too long.
I don't know. We're talking movies, baby.
I know, and we don't get to do it as often as we used to, so it's nice.
Talking movies.
I don't know. Is there any other thing you want to discuss before we?
I mean, I can't talk about the 3 different sets I was on last week.
No, you can't.
I guess 2 sets in a sound booth. But
Did we talk trailers? We didn't talk trailers, did we?
We haven't talked trailers.
Do you want to quickly maybe pick one trailer? Although I have heard a rumor that there is an Avengers trailer coming.
Really? Probably on Wreck-It Ralph.
Before the end of the year.
Whoa.
So it's probably Wreck-It Ralph or Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Mary Poppins is still on the way. Wow.
Okay, so anyways, trailers you've actually seen.
Hang on, I had to bite a piece of my fingernail off.
Cool.
Gosh, I don't even remember. I saw the Mary Poppins one on the front of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I saw Dumbo. That was heartbreaking.
I haven't seen the new
gonna
one.
Make me cry.
All I know about the new Dumbo trailer is there's a thumbnail where he's wearing the face paint, and it is nightmare fuel, I think. It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's real disturbing.
Little Dumbo with the clown face paint on.
Yeah.
That's a scary little image. Scary little image. I'm amazed that I haven't seen Bumblebee trailers in recent weeks. You would think they'd be hammering that.
We just saw a Bumblebee trailer when we saw Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Oh,
But it's not a new trailer. It's trailer 2.
Trailer 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I gotta go see that, I'm thinking. Or do I? Really? See, I saw somebody tweet something like, it should be called Fantastic Boars, the snooze of Grindel.
I mean, you can probably listen to our episode if you want. I can tell you real quick about my...
Well, I'll listen to the episode after I see the movie.
Let's just say, you don't get to see very many of Grindelwald's crimes.
Oh, yeah?
There's not a lot of crime in the movie.
It's mostly just about the good guys just trying to track him down and bust him?
Pretty much it. It's a lot of shoe leather in that 2 hour and 15-minute movie.
Does Dan Fogler return?
Dan Fogler returns, and he's fantastic.
Well, that's good to know.
The performances are all good. The plot point developments are excellent.
All right.
It's just getting from A to B to C to D is a bit of a chore.
Does the bank manager from Fantastic Beasts return?
I did not see him.
Okay, I like that guy. That's Peter Breitmeyer. Shout out to Peter Breitmeyer, buddy. He's cool. He comes to my acting class to give guest speeches once in a while.
Zoe Kravitz returns.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
At first I was thinking Zoe Kazan.
She's only in a photo in the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I only did watch the first Fantastic Beasts one time. So now she's in this in-living action.
Yeah.
Casting spells.
Yeah.
Deflecting spells. Does she have Avada Kedavra, anyone?
That's a spoiler.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. That was a test.
Yeah.
You passed it.
I will say, not necessarily regarding her,
Yeah.
people die.
Whoa.
That's all I'll say.
Yikes.
I'm curious to see how many movies. I think it's probably end up being 7 movies.
Really?
I was reading it takes place over 19 years. The not the one movie, but the entire
The Fantastic Beasts
series is going to be 19 years of
wow
stuff. So I guess it's going to go from what, like 1929 or 28 or something.
That's incredible. To what?
I guess that makes sense because this was a World War II
Oh, right.
thing, right? So
Dumbledore versus Hitler. Whoa.
I mean,
Or possibly Dumbledore versus Hellboy's version of Rasputin. Whoa, dude. That could be pretty crazy. You know what else happened in World War II?
yes, I do know what happened. Nazis were stealing lots of artifacts
Yup.
of occult design.
Looking for magical...
Occult, does that count?
Yeah, the word occult simply means that which is hidden.
Oh.
So for them to believe that something down in a hole somewhere might be able to give them power would certainly count as a cult.
Well, I noticed that... okay, well, so we're going to now talk finally about the movie.
What's it called?
Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's actually, I'm sorry, correction. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. They changed the title.
They've changed it. They've retroactively changed it. Sort of like when the Mormon Church converts dead people to Mormonism after they're dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah, so it belongs in the I's, not the R's.
Not the R's. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
Is Indiana Jones' real first name Henry, or am I wrong about
Henry.
that? It is Henry, okay.
Henry Jones Jr.
Junior?
Exactly.
Junior?
Indiana was the dog.
It's the dog. Aw. Do we ever meet the dog
No.
in the Chronicles?
Indiana was in the Chronicles? I don't know.
I wonder. Indiana was the dog's name.
Yeah.
That's 2 movies away, folks.
Oh, that's more than 2 movies away.
Sean Connery?
We've got... It's 2 Indiana Jones
2
films
Indiana
away.
Jones films
But it's not
away.
2 movies away,
Right.
because we've got E.T.
Yeah. I'm just
Potentially
talking
the
about
Twilight Zone. We haven't decided if we're going to do Twilight Zone yet.
I'm just talking about the Indiana Jones verse.
Users, tell us if we should do the Twilight Zone. We need an answer on this.
Tweet at VTRT Movies.
Well, we have E.T., Twilight Zone, Temple of Doom, Color Purple. Always? I don't know. I don't know what's next after that. Empire of the Sun, maybe?
Whoa. Would that be before Last Crusade?
I don't have the list in front of me.
That's okay.
It's hard to remember.
I could bring it up.
Well, I mean, it's not
you want me
that
to.
important. No, it's okay. So
What did my son do against those Nazis in the first movie?
this is the first film in the series, but it does not take place chronologically first in the film series.
Correct.
Temple of Doom takes place like 2 years before it or something. I don't know.
Temple of Doom, only a few years later, is actually a prequel.
Yes,
A lot of people didn't get that when they watched Temple of Doom.
because they don't have
Didn't
anything.
understand.
There's no Nazis in it.
No Nazis.
No Marion.
No Marion Ravenwood. I almost said Crane.
That would be
Crane?
Psycho.
Psycho. Okay, there we go. No Marion Ravenwood drinking gigantic men under the table.
Which makes you wonder,
Yeah.
where was Short Round? during
Whatever
this Raider
happened.
stuff.
Whatever happened to Short Round between Temple and Raiders?
Yeah.
I imagine he would have grown up quite a bit. You know. maybe.
I'm hoping we're gonna get Short Round in the next movie.
Whoa.
I'm hoping we're gonna get Short Round in the next movie.
A fully grown Short Round. I mean, he'd have to be into his 30s or 40s, right?
Yeah, he's definitely 40s, maybe 50 at this point.
Wow.
I don't know how old he was. He was older than me.
Yeah. When Temple of Doom came out, I remember thinking Short Round is a cool teen, yo. But now I look at him and I'm like, oh wow, he was a very young kid. He
Yeah.
might have been probably 10.
10 to 12, somewhere in that area.
10 to 12.
Okay, so this film.
Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Do you know about how Indiana Jones came to be?
I've read a little blurb about it here and there.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to?
Lead the way.
At least the story I heard.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg always wanted to make James Bond. He always wanted to direct a Bond film. Is that what you have?
No.
No. So he had spoken to George Lucas about that, and the story that George Lucas came to him with was Indiana Jones instead, which was
Nice.
based on this, kind of almost detective-y pulp serial hero.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of that through all the films, all the way through Crystal Skull,
Yeah.
which I think gets a bad rap
It does.
when it shouldn't get one.
All right.
But we can talk about that when we get to that movie, because that'll be a whole can of worms.
That's a long ways away.
Yeah. So that's my understanding of how Indy kind of came to be.
Cool.
Well, it was originally supposed to be James Bond, or
Wow.
something to that effect.
Spielberg wanted to direct a Bond or a Bond-like story. Yeah, because he definitely has similarities with Bond. He's kind of got this sort of loose network of people who will help him out here and there.
Yeah.
Like in this movie, he just, he steals the truck, he rolls it into that
Sure.
door, and people just automatically gather around and cover it up.
Yeah.
How did they know to do that? Did Sella send the word somehow? Or were they just like, hey, this guy looks like he's on the run. Let's just help him cover his A while he's while we're at it. Maybe we'll sell some of these funny fruits to the Nazis.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Washing machine got real
The
loud.
washing machine got really loud. I'm trying to project over it. The story I read, it wasn't even much of a story. It was more of just sort of a blurb, which was that Lucas had gone to Hawaii
Oh, yeah.
while waiting for the opening weekend hubbub of Star Wars to die down. That being Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, the very first movie. And Spielberg had also traveled over there, and Lucas was basically trying to avoid the hubbub, so he and Spielberg got to talking and cooked up Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, interesting.
Again, one of the stories, who knows which one's 100% true.
I'd always heard that Spielberg was a little, like, incredulous when he got the story from George Lucas, because he was expecting something more traditionally spy-oriented.
Yeah.
And then when he got this, it, like, was like, this isn't at all what I was thinking.
An archaeologist whose whole class loves him.
An obtainer of rare antiquities.
Rare antiquities. You can say that again.
So in the film, we get to meet our hero pretty in a pretty dramatic way, which is like kind of this cool 1940s style of like not really showing the hero until you absolutely need to show him, and when you finally do,
somebody's butt.
Comes out of the shadows, and there's this really cool like hero shot, like low angle hero shot. That's one of my favorite things about Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
because he knows how to introduce a character.
That's the absolute truth. And so, the first time we see his face is after he whips Homeboy's gun out of his hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't even see his face until he's just about to get killed and saves his own butt with a bullet.
He's moving through the jungle with Zapito.
Zapito, played by Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
Of so many movies fame. Way too many movies fame. Well, not too many, but you get it. I saw somewhere that the whip is kangaroo hide.
Really?
That's what one piece of trivia on IMDb said. They said that in the late 90s, Indiana Jones's whip, used in Raiders of the Lost Ark, made of kangaroo hide.
Interesting.
Was sold at an auction for, I believe, $35,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot to pay for a whip.
When I was a kid, so there's a thing with the whip near the beginning.
Yeah.
They get inside the temple, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
And they got the spiders on them.
Oh.
And when I was a kid, the way he knocked the spiders off of Zapito, whatever the guy's name is, always seemed weird to me.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, that's a weird thing to do, just knock them off. But now as an adult, I'm like, no, don't touch those spiders.
Keep those tarantulas at whip's length.
Aha.
Even if it was a curled whip, which he used. But it did make a handy-dandy spider scraper.
Spider scraper.
Trivia about the spiders. They said that when they placed the spiders all over Alfred Molina's back, they were all male spiders, and so they were all just standing really, really still.
Yeah.
Because they were just like, what? Where am I now? And they were all just clinging, but just being perfectly still.
As most males of any species do.
I believe so. So they put one female on, and then that got all the males active and trying to be in like, ooh, there's a girl. And so then they started creeping. And that's what a piece of trivia said.
Interesting.
Doesn't tell me who wrote it, but it sounds accurate. I mean, you know, spiders are very much of the mind of like, whoop, I'm in a new setting all of a sudden.
Sure.
I better assess my surroundings for days.
And then next thing you know, you're being knocked off somebody's back with a whip.
Yeah. But, you know, they're spiders. They got 8 legs. They can land just fine. Good old tarantulas.
So we get the iconic...
Oh, which iconic part?
Oh, the whole temple is pretty iconic. You know, the...
Testing out the traps. Weighing out the sand.
The weighing out the sand is kind of what I'm thinking, and then the boulder, right?
I feel like, was the golden statue like hollow or something? How could he possibly have a bag of sand that weighs as much as that golden statue?
I don't know. Maybe it was hollow.
I would think that thing would be real heavy.
Maybe it was wooden with gold encasing it.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Very clever.
The answer to your question. But, yes, we get all those iconic moments. I especially like the the part where there's tiles that if you step on them, arrows shoot out.
Yeah.
But it's really clear which part of the tile you can't step on because it's the only part that's covered in mud.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
Grody.
At Disneyland, we've both been there. There's an Indiana Jones ride, and there's a moment in the queue where it says, "Don't step on diamond-shaped tiles." That's a reference to that scene.
What happens when you do?
Nothing. It was an effect they were going to do in the queue, but they abandoned it because they couldn't get it to work right.
Oh man,
that's my understanding, at least.
That's a shame.
There are multiple things in that ride. There's a sequence that's supposed to drop ice on you.
Say what?
Yeah, they have
an ice drop.
They have an AC HVAC thing that's over the bridge. And there's supposed to be something that happens where little bits of stuff falls on you, and essentially it was going to be ice, but I think it was really difficult to maintain and would break a lot, so they just stopped doing it altogether.
I would think so, yeah. So I'm assuming just little like ice scrapings, right?
Yeah,
like
cubes. Frost, frost.
But when you're crossing the bridge, you're like surrounded by lava and fire.
You notice what happens every time you get on the bridge, no matter what.
You stall.
You stop.
Yeah, that's true. Whoa.
It's like you stop and there's an explosion.
Yeah.
Like the eye shoots out a laser and there's always an explosion and then the thing starts up and goes again. I think the explosion was supposed to drop, make it feel like stuff was falling on you.
First time I ever learned about that laser was the hard way.
Well, yeah, don't look at it.
It just went right into my eye. I had no idea there was even a laser there, and I just happened to be looking straight at it when it came on, and I was just like, ah! It hurt. I should probably get my glasses checked.
Enough about that ride.
Oh, it's so fun though.
Okay.
Except it breaks down every time.
Let's see. So we meet
so many epic scenes.
Belloc,
bowler chase. Oh yeah, and then we meet Belloc after Indiana Jones narrowly escapes with his life.
Yeah, because Zepito
and his hat
tries to double cross him and pays dearly for it. So we get the iconic.
Belloc
grabbing your things under the closing door just in the nick of time. That's a pretty common indie staple. I think it's in all the films, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even referred to, like if you ever catch yourself having to do it, you're Indiana Jonesing, baby.
All right.
I think I had to roll under a moving door recently.
Like a garage that was closing?
I think so. Where the hell was that? I don't know. Probably best that I don't remember. It's probably a dangerous situation at a party.
So Belloc gets the Belloc. They say it so many. Beloch. They say it like
they say
5
it
different
a
ways.
bunch of different ways. Beloch, Belloc.
I think he calls him Belloc most of the time.
Belloc. He's a creep.
He gets the statue. Indy runs away. The natives shoot wildly over Indy's head.
They really go out of their way to miss.
Yeah, they really do.
Hitting him.
There's one guy in particular that's pretty amazing. We meet Jacques briefly, the pilot.
Oh, yeah. Did he have a Dodgers cap on or a Yankees cap?
He had a Yankees cap on.
It was a Yankees cap. All right.
Yeah.
Good old Jacques, who keeps a snake on his plane. Whoa.
So we get the iconic moment. I hate snakes. What are you going to say?
I mean, was that the first snake on a plane?
Oh, that I can think of.
Me too.
But maybe there's been others.
I can't think of ever seeing a snake on a plane in another movie before Snakes on a Plane until this one. Wow.
Surely it must have happened. But yeah, so we get the nice I hate snakes thing.
Yeah.
He's clearly afraid of them, which is going to come back later in the film.
You betcha.
And then we get to see him...
times 1,000 million.
Get to see him teaching class.
Oh, yeah.
All those ladies are just... in love.
There's a lot of attractive ladies in Dr. Jones's archaeology class.
There's music for the...
Ooh. Oh.
Boop, 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 boop,
I like it. It's putting me in a holiday mood.
Well, it's, our... Hey, your laundry's done. So then we get Marcus Brody. Dr. Brody.
Oh, yeah. Does he show up in all 4?
He's only in a photo in... Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, that's right.
Or no, he's not in a photo. I'm sorry. He's a statue.
Yeah.
Henry Sr. is in a photo. In Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
That makes good sense.
Yeah. Because those guys aren't alive. Well, I mean, Connery's alive. But not,
He's up
not
there.
working.
He is
He's
way up there.
Busy smacking women around.
Oh, he did do some of that, didn't he?
He believes it's okay to do.
Oh, damn it, Sean.
I know.
Don't smack your women around, Highlander.
Only with an open palm, I believe, is his thing.
I'm going to say not enough of a qualifier to make it right
there is
at
no
all.
qualifier.
Good
So,
grief.
So then we find out that the government has a bunch of questions for Dr. Jones, and it turns out that the Nazis have found Tanis, which is supposedly the ancient city in Cairo where the Pharaoh had sacked Jerusalem and had stolen the Ark of the Covenant and taken it to Tanis and buried it somewhere there. Well, he didn't bury it.
Wasn't all of
Housed it there.
Tanis buried under
Tanis was buried. That's
100-day sandstorm or something like that? Or
I think a year-long sandstorm. Wiped it off the map.
Grief.
And so Dr. Jones decides he's going to go and so the reason they come to him is because he studied under Albert Ravenwood.
Oh yeah.
Who I almost said Ravencroft.
Understandable.
We're both off on that name. He studied under him, who would have been the foremost authority, but that guy's gone. They can't find him. They don't know where he is. I did notice in the scene that and this is, I think, why I said occult earlier, they referred to Dr. Jones as an expert on the occult.
Oh.
Which is why they wanted to talk to him. And I thought that was interesting because it's biblical.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He goes to go find Marion.
Yeah, and somehow he figures out, or I guess maybe it was in Ravenwood's journal or scribbling, whatever it was that they found of his, about how basically there was a staff.
They need the figurehead or whatever.
But the figurehead or the headpiece or whatever you call
headpiece,
it,
I think is what they said,
is missing from the staff, and they're pretty sure Jones would know how to find it.
Yeah.
Which could then, and only then, point the way to the location of the Ark of the Covenant.
So he goes and finds Marion at her bar
in Nepal, of all places, way up on a mountain.
She's an excellent drinker. She can drink the burliest of men under the table.
Ain't that the truth?
So Nazis show up.
Nazis and evil Sherpas, who are very clearly played by white guys made up to look like they are Nepalese. Yeah. You can literally see one guy's real eyelashes or eyelids flashing behind his prosthetic upper face mold.
Interesting.
Do you know who one of those? Do you know who the big?
No.
The big Sherpa in disguise is also...
Oh, he's later in the movie.
Later in the movie.
Yeah.
With the old-timey boxing.
Bully!
Oh, man. Oh, that scene makes me so nervous.
So Nazis show up. A fight ensues. I'm just trying to kind of...
big fight.
Blow through it a little bit and just do facts where we can.
The figurehead falls into a fire.
Yep. And then, what's that guy's name?
Oh.
His character's name.
Slimy Schizoid?
No, I don't think that's it.
What does he call himself?
As soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, yes.
You keep vamping. I'll find him.
So he reaches for it and grabs it, but then drops it because it's scalding hot and leaves a big mark on his hand. And
the character's name is Tot.
T-O-H-T. Yeah.
Oh, he was also in Buckaroo Banzai.
Is he like General Tot?
It literally just says T-O-H-T.
So anyways, Indy and Marion get the headpiece and they escape. They go to Cairo. They meet Salah and get a monkey.
Yeah.
And
good old John Rhys Davies.
There's some fun stuff in Cairo. They get ambushed by seem to be kind of like Egyptian ninjas.
Oh. I hadn't thought of it like that.
And so they fight a bunch of them. Marion runs away and hides in a basket. Indy's looking for her and he gets stuck in a crowd, then the crowd parts, and there's this huge dude with a sword.
Uh-oh.
What does Indy do?
Well, you think he's in trouble, because that guy's really good at swinging that sword around.
It's a big sword.
But Indiana Jones has a little something called a sidearm. A 6-shooter. I don't know the exact caliber, but he quick draws on him. Shoots the swordsman dead in the street.
You know that scene came to be, right?
I've heard rumors about Ford being ill that day.
He got food poisoning.
Oh, no.
And so he came up with a way to speed it up with Steven Spielberg, and
that's a pretty fast way to end a sword fight.
It was a pretty good, and it's funny because if you really are paying attention, you can tell he's a little
just like, come on,
quite have as much zip as some of the other scenes.
Was Harrison Ford present in any of the lightsaber fight scenes in episodes 4, 5, and 6? I'm going to say he was not.
I don't think so, because they all happen. So it's Obi-Wan and Vader. So technically he's running onto the Millennium Falcon when all that's going on.
True.
And powering that up. He's not actually in the same hallway with them.
You're right.
In Empire...
He's already frozen.
He's already frozen, and Luke's on his own. And then in Jedi, he's down on the planet, on the moon of Endor.
There you have it. Harrison Ford. Not a lot of sword fights, you guys. Speaking of food poisoning, there's a funny piece of trivia saying that Spielberg was the only one on the set in Tunisia, where they were filming a lot of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, who didn't get food poisoning. And it's because he brought with him a huge selection of SpaghettiOs, and that's all he ate the entire time he was over there.
Smart guy.
Maybe SpaghettiOs, maybe Chef Boyardee's writing that trivia, I don't know. But
to be fair, look up dates, how dates are made. And then you can share that with the viewsters.
All right.
That's, to me, horrifying.
How to make dates.
So, because the dates are important. You see Marion eating a bunch of dates. Like, he sort of introduces the dates to her.
Do you want how they are grown and harvested?
How they're created. How all about the bugs. It's all about...
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, anyways, Indy sees that Marion's in a basket. She gets taken away. A basket gets put in a truck. The truck gets in an accident, and it blows up, and Indy is heartbroken.
Yeah.
So he goes to drown his sorrows. And, wow, it feels weird to be, like, recounting an entire movie again. It's been so long since we've done that.
This is true.
And I feel like with the Spielberg ones, we've been doing it more because... we're trying to give as many facts as possible, but with this one, I think we got less facts coming.
Right. Bottom line, if you're listening to this and somehow haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, just like, what?
We're heavily preparing for E.T. is the deal. So anyway, so he finds out, he goes and meets Belloc, who's there, of course, working with the Nazis.
Oh, jeez.
And Belloc tries to have him killed in this bar, and all these children show up and escort him out. There's Salah's kids, his 8 kids.
Wow.
And then a little bit later, we get Indy he's going to eat some dates, but we find out that the dates are poisoned.
Uh-oh.
And Salah prevents it from happening because he sees that the monkey is dead.
Oh, poor little monkey.
Find out the date thing?
I'm looking up this big, long thing. It's got pictures and everything, but they haven't said anything about bugs.
Here, you pick up the Indy talk, and I will...
So Indy believes Marion is dead. Sella and his kids save the day. And then what is it? Indy manages to find the Ark. He hasn't even found the Ark yet, but he and Sella now managed to find the Ark. They've still got the staff head. Mm-hmm. They figure out what went wrong in the positioning of the staff in order to properly point the way. They figured out where it is. They hire some locals to help them dig for it in the sunset. Within, I'd say, maybe a half a mile of where the Nazis are digging. I don't know how none of the Nazis ever glanced over and said, hey, those guys are digging for something, and that guy really looks like Indiana Jones. But whatever. They find the Ark. They manage to get it onto some ropes, haul it up out of the Well of Souls. And wouldn't you know it, it falls into Nazi hands. But Indiana Jones learns that it's going to be put on a truck. And as he's going to find that truck, he finds Marion Ravenwood alive and well, tied up in a tent. He helps to save her butt. But then Belloc shows up, and instead of her running away with Indy right in that moment, she decides to try to trick Belloc and get him good and drunk.
I remember the date thing. So it's actually not exactly the dates. So it's dates are dried figs.
Yeah.
It's the figs that are disgusting.
Figs are disgusting. Why?
All right. So, all right, I'm pulling up the Smithsonian.
Okay.
Explaining this. Okay.
Smithsonian. I bet Indiana Jones has hung out there a time or two in his life. We're at about 4 minutes left on this recording, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna probably have to add a second recording and just pair them together.
Pairing them together.
So, fig trees only can bear fruit because there's this thing called a fig wasp.
A fig wasp.
Wasps are born inside the figs.
Ooh.
When the females hatch, they crawl out, find a new fig, and then lay their eggs. They pick up pollen from the male flowers and carry it into the new fig nest. And that's how they actually become fruit.
Grody.
When they lay their eggs inside the fig,
Yeah.
the females die inside the figs and get absorbed into the fruit.
Oh, man.
The males who hatch inside the figs are also stuck inside the fig. They mate with the female larva who then escape to go into a new fig. And it's just like
So
disgusting.
these things pretty much just live their whole lives inside of figs?
Yep.
Gross.
Fig wasps.
Are
So
there pictures of them?
I don't see a picture of one. There's a picture of the inside of a fig, but
That
no.
looks delicious.
So yeah, so I'm not into dates and figs, man. I'm just not into that at all.
I've never heard. I know about fig beetles. They're just cute and they hang out on fig trees. I had never heard of fig wasps before. Boo.
Would you like a date?
I'll try one.
Oh, gross.
I mean, I've eaten crickets before.
Yeah, people eat those like bacon wrapped dates and stuff.
Yeah, I'll try a date.
Ugh. Ugh.
Heh. I scrolled down the page just a little bit, and there's a quote. I don't eat figs. I know too much about what's inside. That's all I'm going to say. Figs and dates. There you have it, folks.
Yeah, so figs are disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Okay, so you were left off where he rescues or finds her in the tent. She's tied up. They kiss.
She gets Bellic drunk. Tote shows up with his scary coat hanger.
Indy and Sala go to the map room.
They go to the map room. They locate the proper placement of the ark. They get it above ground.
And they go digging.
They go digging. They get it above ground, and then they lose it to the Nazis yet again.
There's a thing inside the inside the Well of Souls
Yeah,
that I really like. There's a lot of snakes in there.
Tons and tons of snakes.
Indy drops down, bam, looks up where he lands.
Yeah,
And what's there?
a big cobra snake.
A big cobra. I mean, they say that it's asps inside.
Asps.
Because, it's Egypt, but I definitely saw like a boa constrictor
Oh,
there
yeah?
or something, or an anaconda or something.
Oh my god!
And there's definitely a cobra. So that the snakes, the big cobras and stuff, were actually there with the actors.
Whoa!
There was a sheet of plexiglass separating them.
Well, that's good to know.
And I'd always heard you could see the plexiglass, but I had never been able to see it until today.
Oh yeah.
I finally thought to look toward the bottom, and sure enough, there are smudges at the bottom where I think the snakes had rubbed up against the glass.
Oh, snake rubs.
Yeah, little snake rubs.
That's pretty cool. So the actors were safe. The snakes were really in the room, but fortunately, there was snake-proof glass in between.
And do you know about the fake snakes?
No.
So, there's real snakes, there's fake snakes, but they didn't have enough to populate the room.
Yeah.
So they just used, like, extension cables, like lighting cables and stuff on the set.
Just put something that looks kind of slithery down.
Yeah.
I guess it worked. I thought those were all real snakes in there.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Good stuff. So, Marion gets dropped in. They seal her and Indy in.
Yeah.
Indy figures out there's a wall that he could break away. They get out.
Yeah, how does he break away? He knocks over the big statue.
He knocks over the big statue, which knocks a hole into an antechamber.
There it is.
And there's a light coming in from outside.
Yeah.
Into the antechamber. And so he goes and he steals the... Well, there's the plane fight first, right? So...
Oh, that plane fight.
So the guy you were talking about, who was one of the Nepalese...
Yeah, he was
Sherpas.
disguised as one of the Sherpas, and now he's disguised as a a Nazi who's just really down to take his shirt off and duke it out with Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he looked like he was looking for an excuse to take his shirt off.
Oh, yeah. And
he looks kind of like one of those turn of the century barbell lifter guys.
Yeah, like a circus strongman type.
Yeah.
I think that guy used to be on Buck Rogers a lot, if I'm not mistaken. I watched a lot of Buck Rogers as a kid. I think that was the same guy.
Was that the show with Beady Beady?
Tweaky, you know it.
Yeah.
Tweaky and Buck Rogers and Dr. What's his name? He was just like a big weird
Dr.
circle
Zayas?
Computer that Tweaky wore around his neck.
Oh.
Dr. Theogenes? I forget. Oh, that show was weird. That Buck
Theopolis?
Rogers.
No.
Maybe. Theopolis.
Something like that.
Kind of right. But yeah, I think that guy might have been Tiger Man on Buck Rogers.
Okay.
But back to Indiana Jones. This is maybe, for my money, one of the scariest scenes in any movie ever. And that is a fist fight near a plane that's still on the ground doing a very slow, flat spin with two big propellers running at full speed. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking.
How'd they shoot that? Do you know? I should look to see if there's like a DVD feature on that or something.
Yeah, I would hope to God that they left the propellers off as much as they possibly could and then only turned them on when they were actually in camera. But, I mean, you got gas leaking out and spilling all around the plane. You got Marion locked inside the gunner compartment shooting at Nazis as the plane spins. And then you got Indy and the strongman getting on top of the plane, fighting underneath the plane. And all the while, the spinning and the propellers just waiting. And then what happens?
Indy gets knocked down. He stays down as the propeller comes and chews up the strongman. He turns around to see the propeller just in time to have his face sheared off, I guess.
Oh, God, no. It's so scary.
It's
and you don't even
interesting.
see much of it, but it's gross.
I was thinking about this recently, along with, all these movies with lots of CG and green screen and stuff.
Yeah.
And while they're neat to look at, the newer stuff, I never have the same tension that I have. And I think it's, I was thinking about like why that is. And obviously I know it's because it's practical versus digital. Your brain knows that it's not real.
Right.
But you know that it's movie magic at the same time.
Right.
But there is some still sense of danger. And I was thinking about Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
And did you see that new Mission Impossible?
Yup.
When he does that helicopter
That whole movie
spin
is a stunt.
He breaks his knee.
God.
And, but there was I saw a behind the scenes feature on him doing the helicopter dive.
Oh, yeah?
Where he does the bank and then dives.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was like, you have to mount cameras on this, and I have to learn how to do it.
Wow.
I have to be the one flying the plane because the audience has to see me doing it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, he's 100% right. The audience needs to know, not that you need to put yourself in danger. You don't have to risk your life. But the audience needs to see the actor, not a CG representation of the actor, not motion capture, not a stunt person. They need to see the actor whenever possible to actually feel like they... I just have no anxiety over any of these. Fantastic Beasts was really a lot like that, where it's like you just never...
It's like the complaint a lot of people have been saying about the superhero movies lately. A lot of them make the joke of like, I'm not going to pay that much money to watch cartoons fight.
You know what though?
And I love the superhero movies because what I'm seeing is the superheroes of my childhood that couldn't possibly have been made into a good movie back then, now being made in good, realistic-looking, believable movies.
Well, anybody that says that, here's what I have to say to you.
I think they're too cool for school.
Here's what I have to say to you. Tell that
Yeah.
to Chris Evans' torn pectoral muscles
Right.
from holding the helicopter pad in the helicopter and having your arms pulled apart.
Yup.
Go eat a bag of shit because you know what you're talking about.
I was going to say like salted peanuts or something.
No.
You went to shit.
Yeah, people that don't know what they're talking about just really bugs me. Really bugs me.
I hear you. And it's like, with the superhero movies, okay, there's definitely a lot more safety in place on a lot of those. Yes. but also they're keeping it as real as they possibly can when they can, and keeping people safe.
Tell it to The Rock. See what he has to say.
Tell that to The Rock. Not in the Scorpion King though. That had a whole lot of CGI The Rock in it. But yeah, I mean there is, and I'd be okay seeing stunt doubles, but there is something that's just more. It just flat out raises the stakes when you know, holy crap, that is the real actor, and the only way they could have possibly gotten that was for him to really do it, and that is intense.
Yeah,
raises the intensity.
If I had a critique for superhero fighting scenes, it would be that they don't. I feel like they should subscribe to Asian cinema fight scene editing techniques where they...
The double punch kind of?
Yeah, where you see that like twice and you actually get to see the hit.
Interesting.
Rather than like cutting right before the hit and then to right after the hit.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Very interesting indeed.
But yeah, anyways, Raiders of the Lost Ark is...
Yeah, I get you.
Back to that. So he ends up stealing a truck.
The big truck. Where is that truck these days?
It's at Disneyland.
That truck is at Disneyland?
We've touched it many times.
I saw a cat on it once.
Oh, man. Get those cats off that truck.
I love kitties.
Yeah, they don't belong on that truck.
He didn't seem to be a Nazi cat, so I'm assuming he was a good guy cat.
All cats are Nazi cats.
Hey,
that's what you don't know about them. So,
no.
Yeah, we have touched that truck many a time.
Mm-hmm.
So he steals the truck. There's a big fight on the truck. Do we need to like go through the rest of this film?
I mean, touch on the parts you want to touch on. That's all. The truck scene is nuts.
The truck scene is fantastic.
The fight is in the truck, on the truck, under the truck, back up onto the truck, and back into the truck.
When he finally throws the driver out the front windshield, and he falls off the truck and gets run over by the truck. That's actually one of my favorite shots because it looks like he gets run over. His arms and legs like come up, but it's shot so well that it's clearly he's actually off to the side of the truck. But it's good use of force perspective and hiding the actual road. Yeah,
because they made me think, oh, that guy just got one side of a truck driven right up the middle of him.
Yeah. There's an excellent Wilhelm scream.
There is?
In that, one of the guys that comes out of the back of the truck into the car that Bellick is in.
Oh, yeah?
When that guy hits the hood and the windshield of that car, he has a Wilhelm.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a Wilhelm in, I think, all of the indie films.
I gotta look up the Wilhelm scream again. I can never seem to recognize it. It's like, Yahoo!
It's, ah!
There you go.
It's more, I mean, that's not what it sounds like exactly, but it's closer to that than, ah! It's like that.
And certainly not, Yahoo!
No, that's Goofy.
That's Goofy falling off something.
That's called the Goofy Holler.
The Goofy Holler?
Yep.
I never knew that. Oh, Goofy.
Sometimes with an E at the end. Hooey.
Hooey. He's great, that Goofy.
So, he gets the Ark of the Covenant and credits roll. That's not what happens.
It's a hell of an adventure. There's still some seafaring adventures.
There's hijacking of the boat. Bellick and the Nazis show up on the boat with Captain Katenga.
Right.
And Bellick is like, look at me. Look at me.
Oh, no.
I'm the captain.
I'm the captain now. Katenga tries to save Marion's butt, but...
Yeah.
Bellick just out. I don't know how I guess he just has him outnumbered with Nazis, I guess.
So they submarine away the Nazis with the Ark and Marion, and Indy gets on board the sub.
Yeah.
I never really understood what happens to Indy once he's on top of the sub.
Well, they make it look like the sub never submerges.
Did we buy that, though?
Well, in a way, yes, in a way, no. Because when he gets on top of the sub, it cuts to inside the sub, and it seems like they're running around like, hey, we're about to dive. But then...
And lights are going off and stuff.
Yeah, but then it cuts to the sub above the surface of the water approaching the island, which is still pretty far away.
Because they finally got to their destination.
Yeah.
That makes sense that they would come back up around then.
Right, but we never see the sub actually dive.
Right.
So we see it still above water. So I guess we have to assume that they just stayed up and kept it floating.
That's weird.
Kind of weird, but...
That's a question for Steven Spielberg.
It's like if you were a sub captain and you were like, hey... You know what? We can afford to stay at the surface, open the hatch, let people get out, get some fresh air and whatnot. Hey, why not, right? We're only going to this little island over here. Katanga's not going to chase us.
Right.
with his
I don't know.
unarmed guys.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, because isn't there even a deleted scene of Indy riding the top of a periscope? Much
Oh,
like in
I don't know. I've
1941?
never seen that.
I almost think I saw that on YouTube recently somewhere.
Huh.
Or maybe somebody just mentioned it. But there might be a deleted scene, or at least there was a deleted part of the script where the idea was that they dove, kept the periscope up, and like in 1941, he was just hugging the periscope and being dragged through the water.
They do move to look through the periscope in that scene before they leave.
Right. They're looking through the... Why couldn't they just have a guy look out the hatch? Yeah, so it seems like they probably do dive, but they never show the dive, and then when we do see the sub again, it's above the water.
Weird. So weird.
It's weird. It's a weird choice, because there's no way he would have gotten into the sub and not gotten noticed.
Well,
Submarines are tiny.
If you were gonna have your sub stay up
Yeah.
that far, it seems like you might leave some crew members up there to keep a watch.
That too.
But I don't know. We'll ask Steven Spielberg one day.
Willing suspension of disbelief.
When
That's
we're hanging
what
out
you got to do.
with Spielberg next, we'll ask him.
Yeah. We'll pose as J.J. Abrams and Matt, what was his name? And we'll be like, oh yeah, it's us. You remember us. You hired us to clean up your Super 8s.
Your Super 8s.
Yeah, you know that story, right?
No.
Oh yeah, so the story is that a guy had moved into the house that Spielberg had lived in as a kid and found boxes full of the Super 8 movies that Spielberg made as a kid. And I believe he had labeled them Steve Spielberg on the boxes. And so that guy was like, these should probably be sent to the right place. So he sent them to, I don't know if it was, I don't know where he sent them to, but basically Abrams at like 17 years old, and Matt, the guy who directs the new Planet of the Apes movies, Matt, what is his last name?
No.
Reeves?
No, I don't know.
That Reeves sounds kind of right. There they were, like 17, maybe 18-year-old kids, and they had been put in charge of cleaning up these Super 8s and like getting them digitally transferred and stuff.
Wow.
And
The rest is history.
and the rest is history. And now J.J. Abrams is,
Buddy,
pretty
buddy.
much the next Steven Spielberg
Yeah.
in the making here. Frankly, made. I mean, he's doing it. Wow. But yeah, isn't that wild though?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how far back that relationship goes. And they didn't even know each other at the time. Abrams was just like, these were Steven Spielberg's childhood home movies. Holy crap.
That's crazy.
Weird, wild stuff.
So, Indy gets captured. Kind of. I mean, he has a rocket launcher and he threatens to blow up the Ark.
Oh, yeah. A Panzerfaust.
A Panzerfaust.
I just found out that that's what a Panzerfaust is. Apparently, was that brand of rocket launcher. What would have happened if he'd blown up that Ark?
Nothing. I mean, they wouldn't have blown up.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
Divine.
the Ark would have just sent the missile in a different direction.
Or just would be indestructible.
Whoa.
I assume some sort of divine intervention would have happened. But
Yeah.
so he of course he can't blow up a priceless artifact.
Right. He can't bring himself to do it.
Yeah. So he gives up. He gets tied up with Marion. They decide they're going to open up this Ark. The Nazis are going to open up this Ark. They want to make sure the tablets are actually inside
Right.
the Ark before they take it to Hitler. He's like, what would you do if we opened it up in Berlin? And I was thinking, man, knowing what's going to happen at the end of this film, if they open that up in Berlin in front of Hitler, war is over.
War is over if you want it. Yeah, that would have been the better move for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Wasn't the smartest move for the Nazis.
So they open it up, and inside is a bunch of sand, supposedly, or
Some really fine, smooth sand.
maybe it's the tablets
Maybe.
have been reduced to powder, or perhaps it's the mulched bones of the ancestor.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. But basically, ghosts come out and like tear stuff up.
They pretty much kill every Nazi on that mountain.
Indy's like, don't look at it no matter what. Don't open your eyes, Marion. I love you and will marry you in about 25 years.
Oh, they get surrounded by flame.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Nazis get a ghost blasts through them, and then something happens where sort of gold lightning shoots out of Belloq's eyes and blasts through the chests of all the Nazis
I like
yet
that
again.
moment.
Yeah, that movement's great. Lights explode. Tote's face melts completely off of his skull. The one guy just screams and stretches his face
he melts
really
too.
far. Does he melt too?
Yeah, he melts too.
I can only ever remember Tote's face melting.
Yeah, he melts, and then Tote melts.
And then Belloq's head
Explodes.
Scanners style, baby.
It's pretty exciting. His whole body explodes pretty much. He's funny. You see his little hands, his little fake hands pop up.
Yeah.
Um,
And then they do maybe one of the first big beam of lights shot up into the sky that happens in tons of movies these days.
I guess.
You know, but in this it's really more of like a flame
The big
whip.
flame, yeah.
And it even goes up and kind of curls down just a little. And
Like a flame NATO.
yeah, and there's like a big like circle parting in the clouds as this thing fires up into the sky. And Indy and Marion keep their eyes closed, fortunately. Now, they're the good guys. I wonder if, had they opened their eyes, if the ghost might have been like, well, these guys are tied up by the Nazis.
They
Clearly.
wouldn't have been worthy if they'd opened their eyes.
Oh, is that what it is?
They would have, yeah.
Oh.
And as we're going to find out eventually, Indy, eventually later on, is going to become superhuman.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Explains Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Right. Good call.
But we'll get there eventually.
First, we've got to get through a couple other movies before this last crusade.
You wanna hear something crazy?
Of course.
People are going to be angry about.
Yeah.
My least favorite Indiana Jones is The Last Crusade.
Your least favorite is the one where he's back to fighting Nazis. He's teamed up with his father,
Yep.
who
It's the one that everybody loves.
everybody loves.
And I am not a fan.
Not at all.
I'm just... it's well made. I'm just bored by it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bored.
I think part of it is that it's just like rehashing stuff that we'd seen in 2 movies already.
Okay.
And then Crystal Skull was so far removed that having those winks kind of felt a little bit more fun.
All right.
But
Okay.
it's
Your
not that.
least favorite is Last
My
Crusade.
most favorite is Temple of Doom.
Whoa.
My favorite. I'm going to say most.
What
My
about
favorite.
that scene where Connery's like, sorry I couldn't join you at that Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
Remember when he said that?
totally.
Well, it was your least favorite one when he said it, so you
Yeah.
probably don't remember. Sorry about that, son.
So the Ark gets taken by the U.S. government and thrown in a storage facility, not to be seen for 25 more years.
But wait, who takes it and puts it in the storage
The US
facility?
government.
But who?
People. Top people.
Men.
Top men. Is it men?
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was people or...
Well, who has it? Top men. And who tells him that? Porkins, that's who.
Oh, was that Porkins?
The guy who played Porkins, and he also played good old Munson in Flash Gordon.
Oh.
Same guy.
All right.
Dr. Zarkov, there's no sun. And then he gets hit by a plane. You remember.
All right.
I like this movie a lot.
I do too.
I dozed off a couple times, but only because watching Raiders of the Lost Ark just puts me in a very, like, at-home mood, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's a movie I know I can trust. And if I doze off and wake up, I'm going to know exactly what's going on.
I did not fall asleep during the movie.
Well, that's good, frankly. I have a problem with falling asleep during movies sometimes. It happens to the Steve of us. I didn't fall asleep during Bohemian Rhapsody or Mandy.
Yeah.
Oh, Mandy. I might watch Mandy before I go to bed.
Desi and I watched something the other day.
Mandy?
Oh, we were putting DVDs away, and I can't remember what movie it was, but Desi was like, is this in color or is it in black and white? Because I think she remembered it as a black and white film, but the cover was color, and it had both versions in it. She's like, oh, it's a good thing that there's both versions on here, because Steve could watch the colored version and he won't fall asleep.
Whoa!
Because you fall asleep during every black and white film we've ever watched.
I'm pretty terrible with that.
Oh,
What?
View the Right Thing struck again.
View the Right Thing.
What movie were we watching? We watched a movie and Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8,
I finally saw Ocean's 8.
I still
They
haven't
played Lara's theme
Really?
from Dr. Zhivago.
Oh, boy.
And it made me think of you, Steve.
Oh, Doctor.
Which apparently that's also in one of the other Ocean's films. I think in like 13 or something they play
Really?
Lara's theme, yeah.
I wonder where and or why.
Apparently. Which I really liked the Ocean's 8 movie. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I was holding off on that movie to see it with my mom when I went on my big vacation in June and July.
Yeah.
And then my mom kept not wanting to go to the movies.
What's up with your mom?
I'm like, Mom, I'm home. I'm on vacation. The movie theater is literally straight down the road.
Yeah.
10 minutes in a car.
Crazy.
She just kept not wanting to go to the movies. I was like, Ocean's 8, Mom. Sandra Bullock sees. But she didn't want to.
Yeah.
Aquafina. Didn't want to go.
Aquafina's great.
I love Aquafina.
I want to see her in more stuff.
Me 3.
You say that like you want to see her in more stuff in a different way than I.
No, I just mean I want to see her in more movies.
She's so good in Crazy Rich
funny.
Asians.
I still haven't watched Crazy Rich Asians yet.
What have you seen her in?
Just like random funny stuff.
Okay.
You know, her episode of SNL was real funny.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good in Crazy Rich Asians. It's funny. Her part's like it's pretty small.
Yeah.
But it's very much a situation of like you want to see a lot more of her.
Cool.
But you know that if you get too much of her, then it becomes one of those, characters.
Yeah.
But,
that's good to know. That's good to know that they reined it in.
Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians is a pretty well put together film.
Cool.
That's another one of those top films this year. I think it was very, very solid. I think it like what prevents it from like really being considered too heavily. I think for things is for awards and whatnot will
racism.
No, I think we're going to see less of that this year.
I hope so.
It's so by the book. It's so like every note you know what's going to happen. You know how the movie's going to end before the movie starts.
Yeah.
So it's real. It shows its hand, immediately. So it doesn't feel very original, but it's just so much fun and it's so well made. And
do you want to hear something very weird that literally just happened?
did you just get a text message from Michelle Yeoh?
No.
That'd be cool.
But I thought to myself, I wonder if I might be able to figure out how to watch Crazy Rich Asians tonight because I haven't been assigned any day job work. And I glanced at my phone, and right then, this email from my boss scrolled down.
I thought you were going to say you got an email about screeners.
Nope, I got an email saying, here's some work for you to do. So
I saw Oscar screeners are going out.
Really?
Is this seem crazy? Well, it's for nominations.
Yeah, I know that some friends of
it's
mine on the SAG nomination committee are already getting screeners.
real early for
Real
Oscars.
early.
I mean,
Real early for Oscars. SAG Awards, they usually start sending them.
isn't it? I guess it's December is when nominations are over. End of December.
So. Yeah.
And then like mid-January is when the votes are due, or end of January or when the votes are due.
Yeah.
When are SAG Awards? Because you vote for that, right?
They're pretty early. I think they're. No, they might be even later. I forget. It's all a blur. Award season's all a blur.
Yeah.
But I think they're. It might go SAG Awards, Golden Globes, Oscars.
I think it's
Or maybe that SAG's
Golden Globes.
way late.
I think SAG is in January.
Yeah. And the Oscars are like end of February, early
Golden
March.
Globes are in January too, though. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. My stomach's making noises.
Was that yours?
That was my stomach. Yeah, making noises.
I almost felt it in my
I was
own.
like, meow.
We've got twin tummies now.
Well, I guess that tells us it's time to say adieu to the Easters.
If you've listened to this whole episode and somehow you've never watched Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Shame
just
on
go
you.
do it. Just go find a copy and watch it.
Yeah.
Somebody you know has it on DVD or Blu-ray or combo pack.
I happen to know for a fact I've spoken with a Viewster who I know for a fact has never seen this.
Is their name Cave Boy of the Cave Raisings?
Don't want to put them on blast. I don't want to I don't want to single them out.
But you've told me it's a him.
And I said them.
That's all I need to know.
This person has not seen a bunch of films. Asked me for a list of films that are films that you have to see.
Yeah.
I actually put Temple of Doom on the list instead of Raiders.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: for somebody
great.
who is resistant to watching an Indiana Jones film,
Yeah.
I think Temple of Doom is an excellent starting point because it's so fun. It's not. It's very nonsensical and silly and exciting. It doesn't
Gangster shootout, car chase, raft chase,
crazy
dinner
heart stuff. Dinner
scene.
Oh boy! But it's just fun.
Secret passages.
Look, we're going to talk about this when we get to Temple of Doom. But I'll say this: the movie starts as essentially a dream sequence with the song "Anything Goes," and that's exactly
that's true.
That's exactly what the film is. It's like it's almost like Indy's dream.
Anything
goes in the film.
Wow.
So,
never thought of it that way. Ford's way ripped in that movie.
Oh yeah.
When they get his shirt off and then.
So we'll be done with ET prep. So I'll be able to focus on Temple of Doom prep hopefully.
Whoa.
And I'll give you lots of West insight at least.
Cool.
On Temple of Doom. I like that one a lot.
Temple of Doom.
Okay, well,
thanks for listening, Viewsters.
Yeah, stay tuned
happy
for
holidays.
Some now playing episodes coming up.
Yeah.
Hope you have happy holidays. If Steve and I happen to get together one more time before
I imagine we will.
the holidays, maybe we'll record one more. Who knows when it'll come out though.
Tweet at VTRT Movies
Or Instagram.
or Instagram.
We get more messages on Instagram than anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel like Twitter is literally just relegated to keeping an eye on the president nowadays.
Yeah, it's just headlines.
But let us know how many times you've watched the Christmas Chronicles.
Sure.
Just tweet at VTRT Movies and then a number, and we'll know exactly what you mean. Follow me, please, at Big Steve Moulton.
On both Instagram and Twitter.
That's right.
Just, you pointed at me to do my Twitter and whatnot. Just do the VTRT
Just
movies.
VTRT for you? That works.
Just worry about the Instagram. Message me.
Yeah.
I've gotten some suggestions. I've had some people recently ask me for some suggestions on films to watch through the Instagram. So
people love Instagram.
People like that Instagrams.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it just fine. I post like once a day. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Not going to lie about it. Wes, sign us off, please.
All right. Bon Cinema.